What's it meant to you as football fan, player, coach, and now manager?
Well, as a boy, really, it's just like getting up on a Saturday morning. You used to follow it, didn't you? The team at the hotel, getting on the bus, or on the trip on the way to Wembley and everything else. So it was always special growing up as a kid, and you always wanted to be a footballer and pretending, you know, that you were a professional and you were playing at Wembley and everything else. Like, so, you know, it is a special tournament, isn't it?
Does it feel different being the manager going into an FA Cup tie? Does it have that little sense of something? Or we talk quite a lot about bigger clubs maybe weakening their teams and stuff, no replays, etc. Has that devalued it a bit?
Probably has a little bit, hasn't it? But as I said, clubs can do what they want to do in terms of what they think they should be going for in terms of leagues or other bigger trophies, if they class them as bigger trophies. But, you know, the FA Cup for a club like ours, especially the money you can generate and, you know, if you get through is fantastic. So we don't devalue it. You know, we go strong. We'd like to progress as far as we can, and hopefully you want to get one of them bigger teams.
You've got a first round tie against a non-league team that's playing in the first round proper for the first time in their history. It's going to be a huge occasion for Rushall Olympic. As the league team in the equation, are you on a bit of a hide into nothing here? Because if you win, everybody expects you to win, and if you lose, you're the story.
Well, exactly. That's exactly what it is. You know, so we will prepare as if we're playing an EFL game, and we'll go about it right. We'll show them the respect that they deserve, because, as you just said, they've created history themselves, and fantastic for Rushall, brilliant for the town. And I think they'll give a good account of themselves, you know, and we've got to make sure that we're right at it, and from a tactical point of view. So we'll have a game plan like we always do. We set out to do what we do, and we'll also set out to stop their threats. You know, they've got one or two come back from injury. So, you know, it's fantastic for them. And as you said, the pressure's all on us, and it's a different type of pressure, but it's one that, you know, as a professional club, that we'll thrive on.
It's something that isn't commonplace, that Accrington Stanley are the big team in a fixture, you know, the Goliath, in the David Goliath setup. I suppose when you played for Stanley back in the day, you were probably a big fish in a small pond, but it is unusual. Does it take some adjusting to mindset-wise?
Well, it does. That's what we spoke about this morning. So that's what we said to them about the mindset. So I've prepared, and we've prepared this team as if we're playing an EFL game, top end of the table, top of the league class, whatever you want to say. And I've said to the lads, challenge them that if they think they're going into this and it's a foregone conclusion, it's not, because I know Rushall won't be, that's for sure. So the end of the day is we're preparing properly. We'll go about it. We'll do it right. And if there's any sense of any player think that they can play a 50, 60%, then they won't be, let alone they'll have 5 minutes on the pitch. They won't come off the bench, whatever it is. But the mindset's right, the dressing room's right, everything's right. So, you know, seeing that this morning in training. So, as I said, we'll go about it the way we should do, and hopefully we can take care of ourselves.
What are your expectations for the day itself? That they're going to have a big crowd, probably a record crowd, I think, judging by the ticket sales. There's the 3G pitch to consider. What are you kind of factoring into that? How much of a difference is this different environment going to make?
Well, it's a different environment because you're going to a non-league, but, you know, we've played non-league clubs pre-season as well, so, you know, the lads know what it's about. Some lads have come from non-league as well, our lads. So I know what the challenges are there. You know, there's no excuses. I've said to the lads this morning, there's no excuses whatsoever. We're not looking at an Astro. We're not looking at the environment in terms of it's a non-league club. There's no excuses. We're a professional club with professional players, and we should be, you know, going there and imposing our game on them, and hopefully that should be enough. But it's not just going to happen. You've got to earn the right. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. You know, Rushall, you know, they've created this. They've got to this round of the cup, which is brilliant for them in the town, but, you know, they'll come out us, they'll come and have a go at us, and it's up to us to stop that and then impose our game on them.
Just on the playing surface, I know we've talked a couple of times this season about being on the side of caution with players who've been nursing things, coming back from injury. Is that perhaps the only way that it is a consideration, that it might be more difficult for someone who's carrying something or coming back from something to play on a 3G compared to, you know, an ordinary grass pitch?
Possibly, yeah. Well, we don't know what the type of astroturf it is, so we won't know till we get there in terms of, you know, your footwear that you can use, whatever that is. So we'll know when we get there, but, you know, we've always been, you know, careful with the players that have little niggles or whatever that is, but as it stands now, everyone's reported, everyone's fine, everyone's chomping at the bit, ready for this game that's coming.
As far as your loan players are concerned, we've talked about that before this season a couple of times as well, the half a dozen of them. You obviously have to get permission from the parent clubs for them to play in the Cup. Are they all available to you for this weekend?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah, they're all fine. Yeah.
That must be a big boost. It must be a nice problem to have, but...
Well, it is, because, you know, as I said, you know, in previous chats that we've had, that I've always felt sorry for Nelson, because, you know, we've had to play certain positions and certain lads in them positions because we've had to. But in that position, in terms of midfield, we've got lads who can play there. So he's literally fell short on that side of things because of that situation, really, because we've got 6 loan players. But in terms of how he's reacted and the way he is about the place and the way he's in the dressing room, I couldn't speak highly of Nelson. So, you know, he knows he's involved in terms of the squad tomorrow and the rest of them. So, you know, we can play, if we had 11, we could play 11, apparently. So really, I only found out, funny enough, through Mark Turner this morning, so I had a little bit of a sleepless night last night, waking up thinking of what we could do and couldn't do. And then when I got in and Mark Turner told me that, I was like, oh, it put a big smile on my face. So happy about that. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
A couple of extra substitute spots on the bench as well. Having used a lot of young players in the trophy in the week, is there a temptation to give one or two the experience of the first round of the FA Cup there, or will it be all about your established first team players?
No, as I said before, Dan, we're approaching this with, you know, as if we're playing an EFL game. So we're going to do it right. We're going to show the respect that it deserves, the competition it deserves, and hopefully that'll be enough for us to go through.
October's over. We're into November. Do you look back on the last month pretty fondly with I think it's 4 victories and only a couple of defeats in the month?
Yeah, I think you have to reflect, because, I mean, people are quick enough to tell you when you've lost games and you've drawn games, and not just yourself, but fans and what have you. So, you know, you reflect back, but at the end of the day, you've only won them games and you've only got them points. So there was no prize at the end of it where you're safe or you're in the playoffs or you're in the league. So we know what we're doing. We know how we're going about it. We've just got to continue that. And obviously now it's a new month, as you just said, and the first challenge is Rushall in the FA Cup. So hopefully our good run of form continues. To
be in a good run, a decent run, depending on your perspective, what does that do for confidence? Is it easier to go on a run than to kind of get off a run, sort of thing? If you're doing well, does that breed confidence?
Well, I think it helps, doesn't it? And I think it helps each other, you know, in terms of the individuals as well that are in the team and the ones that are chomping a bit, waiting to get in there. So I think everything helps, individual performances, a team performance, and then the end product in terms of, you know, getting the 3 points that you get, or a point if you've had a good performance against whoever the opposition is. So, you know, we had a clean sheet against Walsall last week, which are the EFL leading goal scorers, so which I didn't know anyway, but to do that against them, you know, as I said, Matt and Gary set the team up, you know, fantastic. We've had some great results, and, you know, the free-flowing football that they do at times, and the goals that they're scoring is frightening, really. And we've kept that at a clean sheet, so that's massive, and it helps with confidence and momentum, and I think we've got that now in the dressing room.
Just a couple of little points on players that have been missing. Obviously, you got 70-odd minutes into Seamus Keneally the other night. That'll be something that encourages you greatly. Is he back 100%
He's fine.
available?
Seamus is fine, yeah, which was good. He came through that okay, and that was served the purpose the other night, so that was good for Seamus.
And still no Kelsey Mooney. What's the situation there?
He's jogging, so just this little issue that he's got with his knee. So he was on the grass this morning jogging about. So we're just really taking care of Kelsey at the minute.
And given that you were able to make so many changes in the week in the trophy, has that allowed anybody who was involved against Walsall to get over anything that might have been hanging about?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has, to be honest. As I said, but we've all reported fitting well. So, you know, and as you said, that helps it in winning games and the run that we've been on. So it's a good place to be in at the minute.